The 2023 NBA draft is absolutely stacked with talent, and I'm going to be basically going over the guards and the top 10 guards in my opinion. Now, I emphasize my opinion because I know a lot of people in the draft community, they all have very different opinions on certain players, where they rank them, and this is just my opinion, okay? So please, don't witch hunt me, don't come for my neck, okay? I know you're going to have different opinions, I know you're going to think I'm wrong, and I might be wrong. But in my opinion, I'm not. So I'm going to give my rankings on my top 10 guards in this draft, and I hope you do enjoy the video. And if you do, hit the like button and subscribe button. It means the absolute world to me. And without further ado, without running on too much, let's get right into this video. And also, one more thing before I do get in this video, I do want to point out that I have the Thompson twins as wings and not guards. So no, they will not be in this video. Do not witch hunt me because they're not in this video. I have them as wings. I just wanted to disclaim that before I see a comment about that as well. And the first guard on the list is going to be probably the most obvious one. Let's be honest. Scoot Henderson. Y'all all knew it was coming. He is the best guard in this class, hands down. He is a 6'3" guy, 195 pounds. He obviously plays for the G League Ignite, and he is definitely the most athletic guard in this entire class, hands down. He is extremely talented. He's doing it at a higher level than NCAA in the G League against other grown men professionals, and he has been one of the best scorers in the G League. But most importantly, he has been really lifting up those efficiencies from his first year. In his first year in the G League, his efficiencies were not good at all. And this year, he has become a better three-point shooter, which is a very important thing for any guard in this league, and he's also became a better passer. Combine that with being a very solid defender, and you have all the framework you want from a star level guard, at least a young star level guard. He has all the physical tools you could basically want, maybe besides a little bit more height, but 6'3" isn't bad at all for a point guard, and he has all the physical tools you would want from an athletic standpoint and like length and all that. And then he's already a very good scorer from all three levels. He can improve a little bit in his efficiency still, but he has shown that he will put in the work to improve those efficiencies, as we've seen from year one of the G League to year two. And I just think overall he is a extremely good player, and he's only going to continue to get better as his years and go on. The only knock you can have is longevity for Scoot. I think he might struggle a little bit in the later half of his career because he does rely on his athleticism a good bit and his speed, and those are always the first things to go away. But hopefully by then, Scoot Henderson has learned how to score good enough to where that doesn't affect him too much, and he doesn't have too much of a drastic fall off. But from the jump, I think he's definitely the best guard in this class. And now the second best player I have in this class is going to be Nick Smith Jr. And Nick Smith Jr. is a 6'4" guard, 170 pounds, that plays for Arkansas. And now I know a lot of people are probably going to disagree with this, and I'm a lot higher than him than most. Now some people will agree as well because they see the ceiling, but I just personally think his ceiling is way too high to have him any farther down than this. Now, yes, he is a pure shooting guard for sure, but I think he has more than enough scoring really assets to make him a very good shooting guard in the NBA, as a lot of people have dropped him because of his efficiencies and his injury problems, and I don't see the injuries really gonna affect him too much going into the NBA. Like, he's a small guy, he shouldn't struggle that much with his injuries, and I do think that his stats are probably another reason why people have dropped him a little bit. But if you really look at his stats since returning from his injury, they have been much better, as he is averaging 16.6 points per game, 1.4 steals per game, 2.3 assists per game on 2 rebounds per game, with 36% shooting from the three-point line and 38% shooting from the field as well. And he also has a true shooting percentage of 47. So if you really look at his stats since he has came back from his injury, he has not been that bad at all. And then even if you just take away his first game back, which was his first game back from injury in months, if you take that one game away, all those numbers go up, as they go up to 18 points per game, 1.3 steals per game, 2.4 assists per game, 2 rebounds per game on 40% shooting from the three-point line, 39% shooting from the field goal, and 48% shooting from the true shooting percentage. So if you really look at his numbers since his injury, and if you even exclude that one game, his first game back, his numbers look much better. And there's also a false narrative that goes around that the Arkansas is better without him, which is just stupid. It's just really dumb. As with Nick Smith Jr. on the team, the Arkansas Razorbacks are 11-6, and without him, they are 8-7, including a 4-game losing streak. And when they were winning with him, 4 of those 6 losses came from top 25 teams. So no, they are not a better team without Nick Smith Jr. That's the dumbest statement I've ever heard, and it's just a false narrative that they are pushing around. And now my third best guard in this class is going to be another Arkansas guard, and Anthony Black, who is a 6'7" point guard at 198 pounds. And really, Anthony Black is just an extremely Josh Giddey-esque player, very smart passer, has great court vision, extremely good size for a point guard. He's a very solid defender. He's going to be extremely versatile due to his size. He's going to be able to switch really 1 through 3, maybe even 1 through 4 sometimes. Extremely smart as well, and He's going to also have a lot of scoring upside, and he is basically a carbon copy of what Josh Giddey was coming into the NBA, and I think he's actually a little bit more athletic than Josh Giddey was as well coming in. Now, yes, Giddey was doing it against the professionals, and Anthony Black is doing it against college kids, which is a very different level of competition, but from a skill perspective, from a talent perspective, I think they were extremely similar, and if he can stay on the same path that Josh Giddey is currently on, I think he is going to be an extremely good player for anyone that gets him, and I do think he could be the third best guard in this class. And now for the fourth guard, I have Jordan Hawkins. Now, I know this is probably where people are really going to question what the hell did I just say. I have Jordan Hawkins as my fourth best guard in this class. He is a 6'5" guard, 198 pounds. He plays for UConn, and he is just an extremely good all-around player. He's a very good three-point shooter. He has potential to score from everywhere anytime he is on the court. He could be a great scorer slash shooter for any team. He doesn't have to be a spot-up shooter by any means. He can make his own three-point shot. He can catch and shoot. He can do anything you need him to do, and he's also very sneaky athletic, and I just think all around he's going to be an extremely good player for whoever drafts him, and I think his ceiling is just a little bit higher than some of the guys that most people do have above him. And then for my fifth guard, I have Colby Jones, another guy that probably a lot of people don't have this high, but I think Colby Jones is one of those cool, calm, collected guys, and how he plays, you can just see him in an NBA game. You cannot speed him up. No matter what you do, his game is going to stay the same, and consistency is extremely important at the NBA level. He's a very smart passer, very smart defender, very smart when it comes to scoring. He can score from all three parts of the court very easily. He has a very nice handle, and I just think overall Colby Jones is an extremely good point guard in this class, and I think he deserves a lot more respect than he really is getting. And now my sixth guard in this class is going to be Keyonte George out of Baylor. Now, Keyonte George is probably a lot higher on most people's list, but George, in my opinion, although he is a very solid floor spacer and a very good three-point shooter, if you really watch how he scores the vast majority of points, they're from spot-up threes or him coming off a screen, but he doesn't really make his own three. Now, he is capable of making his own shot, and I think in a few years he has potential to be a two-way player that can make his own shot, but coming into the NBA, I just don't see it. I think he needs a lot of room to improve. He needs to kind of get a bigger bag, to say, on the offensive end, and he doesn't really have all that scoring that you would like to see him have, but he honestly, in my opinion, just doesn't score effectively in the NBA level. He's going to be more of a floor spacer defensive guy, 3-and-D type guy coming into the NBA, and I just don't think that's good enough to be a top guard in this class. Now, I think he will be solid, but I don't think he will be anything special going into the NBA, at least not for the next few years. And now with the seventh guard, I have Cason Wallace. Now, I'm a big fan of Cason Wallace, and you could easily argue that he is from anywhere from fourth to where he is right now on this list. I think Cason Wallace probably deserves to be the sixth seed, and he probably will be moved up to the sixth spot by the time the March Madness and all that is done, but he is a 6'4", 193-pound guy that plays for Kentucky. He literally does anything you ask him for. He gets compared to Drew Holiday a lot of times, and trust me, your favorite team wants a Drew Holiday type player on it. He plays great defense. He's a great passer. He's very smart. He's going to play hard, and he's just going to do anything you ask him to do, which is extremely valuable in the NBA, and in my opinion, he is going to be an extremely high-level role player for anyone that takes him in this class. And now for the eighth spot, really, I need to warn you, the 8th through 10th spots on this list were by far the hardest to rank, and probably going to get disagreed with the most as well. As the 8th best guard, I have Jalen Hood-Schifino, and Jalen Hood-Schifino is a 6'6" shooting guard that plays for Indiana, 215 pounds, and he is just an extremely good offensive player. He has a very good mid-range pull-up game. He can be very quick, and he makes it a lot of the time. He's a threat to score from everywhere he's on the court. He can get to the basket. He can shoot the three. He can make his own shot from wherever he's at. He also has very good size, and really is just a flat-out scorer. Now, he does need to work on his defense. He needs to work on some consistency issues that he can have, and also his passing needs to get a little bit better as well, but I definitely think his offensive upside warrants him being at the 8th spot in this guard tier list. And now number 9 overall, I have Dariq Whitehead. Now, Dariq Whitehead, obviously, if you keep up with the draft, you know he was supposed to go like top 5 in this class in the beginning of the year. His injury happened, he fell off a lot, and although he still hasn't had the greatest year with Duke, I still kind of believe in just him being a 6'7" point guard that he does have a lot of potential. He is still an extremely efficient three-point shooter, by the way, an extremely good catch-and-shoot guy from 3. His size gives him a lot of versatility on both sides of the ball. I think he definitely has the foundation to really diversify his offensive game and really build on top of what he is already kind of at. And I think he can definitely become more than a three-point shooter, and even if he becomes just a pass-first point guard who's an extremely efficient three-point shooter, I think that could still be very valuable in today's NBA, especially with him being 6'7" and the switchability that he would provide. So I do think for sure that Dariq Whitehead is definitely a top 10 guard in this class. Now, you could argue he's the 10th. You could argue he is like the 6th or 7th. In my opinion, he is the 9th best guard in this class. And the final guard in this class I want to go over, and it's probably going to be the most disputed, and I know a lot of people are going to be very upset that I left one guy off this list, but number 10, I have Colby Bufkin. Now, Colby Bufkin is a guy that plays for Michigan, and although Michigan wasn't the best team this year by any means, he was still an extremely good bright spot on that Michigan Wolverines team, and is really just a flat-out scorer who can score from all 3 levels of the court. He kind of came on more the second half of the season when scouts really started looking at him, and I think he is an extremely good guard in this class, and teams would be very lucky to get him. He's efficient at what he does. He can score from everywhere. His defense could be an issue, but he's an extremely active and energetic guard, which is very valuable as well. So I think Colby Bufkin definitely deserves to be in the top 10 list of these guards. Now, to address the elephant in the room, Marcus Sasser was not on this list. I understand, and Marcus Sasser I do think has potential. I just personally don't think he is a top 10 guard in this class. You could definitely argue he is, and I wouldn't say you're wrong by saying that. I just personally feel that these 10 guards are going to be better in the NBA. I could be completely wrong. I understand that, and I understand a lot of people have Marcus Sasser very high on their list. But unfortunately, guys, that's going for this video. So comment below. Do you agree with me? Do you think that these are the top 10 guards? How do you think the order should go? I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below, and please comment your list as well. I'd be very interested to see what you guys think, and I hope you have a blessed day, because I had a blessed day, so you need to have a blessed day. All glory to God. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah.